Hello, everyone. Welcome to our week 23 speaking practice. Today, our topic is problem solving and hypotheticals, and we'll practice answering 3 prompts to help you prepare for your speaking test. Remember to speak clearly, restate the question, and use complete sentences with details to share your ideas. Let's get started. Our first speaker today is Carla. She will help us with prompt 1. Imagine you're stranded on a deserted island with classmates. What would be your priorities for survival?
If I was stranded on a deserted island with classmates, my priorities for survival would be finding water, building shelter, and securing food. First, I would search for fresh water, like a stream, or collect rainwater to stay hydrated. Next, I would use palm leaves and branches to build a shelter to protect us from sun and rain. By assigning tasks like having some students fish while others build shelter, we would work as a team and survive.
Practical and teamwork focus, Carla. Great response. Now, let's hear from Omar for prompt 2. If you could change one rule at your school, what would it be and how would you implement this change?
If I could change one rule at my school, I'd allow students to use phones during lunch to relax or connect with family as long as it's respectful. To implement this, I'd propose the idea to the student council and create guidelines like no phones during conversations or loud videos. I'd also suggest a trial period to show it won't disrupt school. This change would give students a break while teaching responsibility, balancing freedom with respect for others.
Thoughtful plan, Omar. You considered both benefits and boundaries. Now, let's hear from Liseth for our final prompt of the day. Prompt 3. You find a strange device with unknown functions. How would you figure out what it does?
If I found a strange device with unknown functions, I'd figure out what it does by carefully observing and testing it. First, I'd examine its buttons, screens, or markings for clues, like symbols indicating power or settings. Then, I'd press buttons one at a time in a safe area, noting any sounds, lights, or movements. For example, if it beeps when I press a red button, I'd test it again to confirm. I'd also research similar devices online or ask a teacher, proceeding cautiously to avoid damage or danger.
Smart and systematic approach, Liseth. Thank you, Carla, Omar, and Liseth for your creative and problem-solving responses. And thank you for joining our practice today. To excel in your speaking test or conversations, focus on speaking clearly, adding relevant details, and expressing your ideas confidently. Keep practicing these prompts and you'll be well prepared for your test. Great job. Now it's your turn to record. Question 1. Imagine you're stranded on a deserted island with classmates. What would be your priorities for survival? Question 2. If you could change one rule at your school, what would it be and how would you implement this change? Question 3. You find a strange device with unknown functions. How would you figure out what it does? See you next week.